and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here from Eldora Speedways. These drivers get ready to be set loose. Some wild racing action here ahead of us as we get a big field of drivers, a lot of cars out here ready to rock and roll. They're ready to rumble. They're ready to go to battle here this evening. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun, chat. This is going to be a ton of fun. We are in for an absolute treat here in this one. As qualifying coming to a close here, these drivers are going to get ready to rock and roll. Just a few more moments. So you see the 23, the Simrap Market, McConey Setup Shop, and number 23, Ryan. That is the beautiful looking machine of Chris Peters. So we get these drivers ready to be set loose here in just a few more moments. Oh, chat, we're in for some fun. We're in for some great fun here this evening. This track is already looking very, very, very tricky, very slick out there, very hairy out there for these drivers to have to try to hold on and keep these cars pointed in the right direction here for 125 laps of racing action. 125 laps, yes, you heard that right. That is a lot of laps. That is a lot of work these drivers are going to be doing back behind the wheel of these cars this evening, and we're all for it. We're all for it, man. The longer we get to see these guys out there on the racetrack running and gunning and duking it out, man, it's going to be a ton of fun. We are in for it. We are in for it, chat. Oh, this is going to be fun. Woo! Oh, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it, chat. Let's get it, baby. Woo! Oh! Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, there you go. Qualifying coming to a close here. That means we're going to get ready to set these drivers loose. We're going to get ready to go green flag racing in just a few more moments. We're going to have to wait and get these drivers kind of, piled up, stacked up, ready to rock and roll here as we do 4 wide starts here. 4 wide starts here for this race. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be amazing. If Facebook Live producer could hurry up and open, that'd be nice. I've been trying to get that open here in the last couple seconds. It hasn't wanted to. That's going to be fun. Come on. Come on, live producer. Come on. You can do it. You got the power. You got the power. You got the juice. Hurry up and open. Oh, God, Facebook. Zuckerberg, you're killing us all, buddy. You're killing us all. Yo, what's good, Mr. Jake Stefanski coming in, showing the love here in this one with that share on the stream. You can only see the ones popping up over there is, for some reason, live producer on Facebook just will not open. So that is always fun. That's always awesome to see. That's always fun to have to deal with. God dang it. See if we can get this refreshed here. See if we can get this going again here. And this can work a little bit better. What's going on here, Facebook? Why is Facebook such a pile of trash? I swear to God. I swear to God, they're so bad. Yo, Cody McCoy, Mr. McCoy with the like and the share. Mr. Stefanski says, let's go. Throwback scheme to my original Monty Street stock. Let's go. We out here, says Mr. McCoy. Let's go, brother. That's what's up right there. That's what's up, my dude. And out there on the racetrack for some fun as we will get a look here at our starting lineup as drivers are ready to rock and roll here, lined up on the front of the field here at the beginning of pit road behind our official iRacing pace truck. It's Johnny Ratley in the DWR JRE iRacing iFlag number 1 ride, going to start in that pole position. The TNT Racing McConey Setup Shop Simrap Market ride of Chris Peters there in second. T-Jack Tyler Jackson in the Black Diamond Mafia Majula Safe Speed Shop number 822 machine, going to start there in third. The Malum Electric Joyride Designs Viv's Liquor number 71H William Hargraves there in position number 4 with Jake Stefanski in the Sunrise Racing Throttle Down Motorsports ride there in position number 5. Jackie Whaley to his outside in his iRacing iFlag DWR ride. Then we see his teammate Lon Franks there in 7th. Dakota Proud going to start there in the 8th position with Glenn Townsend and Steven Stefanski rounding out our top 10. Jeremy Akins in the DWR number 57 ride, going to start there in 11th. He's got the Precision Auto Bodies, the Big D machine. It's the Forever Tan and Boutique Throttle Down Motorsports number 34 ride of Dustin Benton. The 24, or the 29 ride of Aaron Martin and Ricky Thompson rounding out our top 14. Here is Cody McCoy. They're in position at number 15 in the beautiful looking Maine Motorsports 352 designs. The PeaceMaker Gaming number 13 ride there in the 15th position as Ryan Howard up to his outside. Then you see Dylan Simmons and the number 134 of Jason Zilmer right there. And then you see Evan Stefanski, Cameron Stefanski rounding out our top 20. Troy Owenby, Johnny Nolan, Tim Van Oomsteen, and Hayden Wooten rounding out our field here of 24 drivers ready to go to battle as you see them getting lined up here, 4 wide, ready to try to rock and roll here. Is for some reason my live producer still isn't working, as Facebook just really likes to people up some days. Some days they just really like to shit up and mess with all of our stuff. I love it. I love it. You gotta love Facebook. You gotta love the half-assed network that they build over there on Facebook, man. It is honestly probably the worst in place to stream, but it's our home. But sad to see them just continuously taking L's after L's after L's after L's over there on Facebook, and just continuing to get worse and worse and worse day after day. But no matter what, we can continue grinding. We're still live over there. I just may not be able to read a lot of the comments or anything else, but we'll try to get through them throughout the evening as we get ready to rock and roll here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we get ready to set these drivers loose. They're going to roll up to the front straight away here, right to our flag stand, and we'll get ready for Johnny Ratley in the DWR Evil One Graphics iRacing iFlag number 1 ride to let us loose here from Eldora Speedway. 125 laps of racing action. This is where you get into some very scary, very hairy areas where this racetrack's going to go through a bunch of changes. We're going to see drivers coming from the back to the front. We're going to see drivers going from the front to the back, but we really got to keep an eye out is on that tire wear. Drivers are going to have to keep an eye on that tire wear all evening long as my boy Steven Stefanski coming in. He says, let's get after it. Yes, Sirski, you know it, Steven. You know it, my boy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we go as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. We are quickly green flag racing here with the Throttle Down Motorsports Enduro Series here from the beautiful Eldora Speedway. Quickly, Johnny Ratley out in front. Here's our pole sitter looking to open up a good lead, and he's going to lead lap number 1 here on the evening. Jacob Stefanski back there in second, makes some contact. Him and Chris Peters come together. A little damage there on Peters' number 23 machine. He hangs on, still inside the top 5. Here are some movers towards the front of the field. Jacob Stefanski already up 3 spots. Jackie Whaley up 3 spots as well. And Jeremy Akins up 7 positions right out of the get-go. So drivers moving to the front, some drivers moving to the back. Here is T-Jack Tyler Jackson going from the front row to the back of the pack here, going from the penthouse straight to the outhouse here for the Black Diamond Mafia, number 822. But that could be strategy here for Tyler Jackson. I just don't know if he wanted this much of a advantage out there on the racetrack. Really just trying to keep that car underneath him, trying to hit his marks, trying to keep that car out of trouble, and just trying to make sure that he can get it to the end of this race, and trying to make sure that he can get that car a little bit fresher tire, save those tires right down to the very, very end, and not having to make that pit stop and having to come down pit side, as that's always a big, big risk here with any of these drivers, is that big risk of having to make that pit stop, getting that flat tire, having to come down pit road. You can lose a lap, 2, 3 laps in a quick hurry, and you don't want to risk it, but sometimes it's worth it, as you can get that flat tire early enough in the race that it can set you back quickly, where you can use those fresh tires to your advantage to make up all that ground you lost. But a lot of times, like we've seen, those flat tires come late in the race. You don't have enough time out there on the racetrack to really make up the ground you need to put yourself into a better position than what you were before the flat tire. It's Johnny Ratley out in front, continuing to lead the way. Jacob Stefanski in second. Then you see Jackie Whaley right there in third. Chris Peters going to slide back up into position number 4 here as he moves himself around the 57 of Jeremy Akins. You see Glenn Townsend there in that 6th position. William Hargraves there in position number 7 in the Mirai. The Ricky Bobby throwback paint scheme here on the 224 ride of Ricky Thompson, rocking and rolling out there on the racetrack, trying to get it done just like Ricky Bobby here as he's looking for a little shake and bake with Aaron Martin, who's right there on his back bumper, looking for the slingshot engage moment between these two out there on the track. Dakota Proud there in position number 10, rounding out our top 10 as he's got Lon Franks and Dustin Benton right back there behind him. Ryan Howard taking a look underneath that 34 line of Benton here as they make a little bit of contact, headed into corner number 3. The 15 ride of Steven Stefanski right there in that battle. It's Muscles trying to work that Sunrise Racing. Steve's Lawn Care, number 15 ride right towards the top 12 here in this one. Johnny Ratley back there in position, or Johnny Nolan, sorry, there in that 15th position. As Nolan's got that number 5 ride looking fresh and furious out there on the racetrack. Tim Van Oofsteven there in position number 16 as Cody McCoy down to his inside as McCoy rolling the inside lane here, trying to keep that car underneath him, trying to keep those tires nice and fresh and clean out there on the track. The 116 of Cameron Stefanski and Evan Stefanski both right there duking it out. Here is Cameron in that 92. Evan Stefanski there in that 116 ride. A pair of Sunrise Motorsports machines looking for some good runs here this evening. Troy Owenby rounding out our top 20 is Dylan Simmons back into position number 21 on the racetrack. Jason Zilmer back in 22nd and down 20 spots on the racetrack, playing some massive strategy here. It's the Alpha Shark, the 822, the Majula Say Speed Shop, shopfergie22.com, Black Diamond Mafia ride of Tyler Jackson. T-Jack back there in the 23rd position, trying to play some strategy here, but he's going to have to keep a look in that rear view mirror as our race leader is only a set of corners back there behind him as Johnny Ratley trying to reel him in a quick hurry. Is Ratley out in front now by a second over Jacob Stefanski and Jackie Whaley. Glenn Townsend's now found himself up inside the top 5 as he's already made the move around the 23 of Chris Peters for that 4th position. So he's moving up forwards here, trying to work himself towards the front of the field, already up 5 spots on the racetrack. And he's in position number 4 and looking for more as he's working to the back bumper of that 720 ride of Jackie Whaley. Chris Peters, Jeremy Aikens, William Hargraves, Ricky Thompson, Aaron Martin, and Dakota Proud rounding out our top 10 early on in this one. As we're going to take a quick little drink here, we're going to make sure we're ready to rock and roll as we're going to jump right on board here with our 5th place driver, Chris Peters, and get a good look here from his perspective. Rob Stefanski says, evening, Aaron. Let's go, Stefanski boys. Steven Stefanski says, let's get after it. Yes, Sirski. Yes, Sirski. To my boy, Tim Taylor, coming in, showing the love as well. Timmy says, Peter's going to get this one. Damn it. I'll check back in an hour. Yes, Sirski. It may be over before an hour. I'm not sure. These guys are clicking off these laps in a quick hurry here as I'm going to keep on working on trying to get Facebook to work here as Facebook, my live producer just does not seem to want to cooperate here this evening, so we're hoping that maybe a quick little, yeah, it just does not want to work. That is very interesting. That is a big pee-off. That is very not fun to have to deal with, as I just can't see likes or shares unless if they pop up over on Streamlabs. So if I miss any shout-outs, I do apologize. If I miss any comments or anything, I do apologize for that. But make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow, and subscribe button. Man, some great racing action here. Get a good look right on board here with Chris Peters as he continues to try to work himself towards the front of the field as he's found himself back up inside the top 3. Now moving back around Jackie Whaley, Jeremy Aikens, and Glenn Townsend as Townsend already back into that 7th spot on the racetrack. Some great racing all around the track here, but they're being led by Johnny Ratley as Ratley continues to lead the way. Ratley continues to show these drivers how to get it done here in this one. We still got a lot of racing action ahead of us here as only about to click on to lap number 24 is my boy Anthony Karp coming in, with that like and the share on the stream. Says, what's good, bro? My wife got me a new phone and my fat fingers is hard to operate. Hey, you know what? Sometimes that's the biggest downfall about the newer technology. You know, they kept making them smaller and smaller and smaller, and they keep getting harder and harder and harder to use, man. That is for certain. I will be out there soon. Let's go, Anthony. That's what we always like to see, my dude. That's what we always like to see. We want to see these fields absolutely filled, whether or not it's a Sunday league, a Wednesday league, a Thursday morning league, or any kind of league that we put on. We want to see them jam-packed and filled with all of these amazing drivers that tune in, show up, and show out each and every single one of these races, and continue to make them, you know, grow more and more and more. Continue to get these, you know, series getting bigger and bigger is what it's all about. I am a part of the TDM crew. Let's go. Let's go. That's what's up right there, Anthony. That's what's up, my boy. Nothing wrong with being a part of the Throttle Down Motorsports team, as they are all very fast, very good drivers, respectful drivers out there on the racetrack. But no one better than this one rider, Johnny Ratley, right now, as Ratley has been the reflection of perfection here in this one, continuing to lead the way, continue to keep that DWR iRacing iFlag ride out in front. You can see him rolling that inside lane, just trying to keep it nice and straight, trying to keep those rear tires underneath of them and trying to minimize any type of tire wear on that one ride, to try to save these tires right down to the very end. The 23 rider, Chris Peters, right there as well. Peters slowly but surely tracking down our race leader. Last time by, he was 1/10 quicker. This time by, he was about a quarter of a second faster than Johnny Ratley. So he's closing that gap, and he is coming to the front of the field. And Johnny Ratley sees this 23 ride getting bigger and bigger in his rear view mirror. Jacob Stefanski back into position number 3 with Jackie Whaley there in 4th, and William Hargraves now working himself back up inside the top 5 as he's made the move around the 57 of Jeremy Aikens and that 1-2-3 machine of Glenn Townsend, as Aikens back to that 6th position. Aaron Martin right there in position number 7. Aaron M29 looking to have himself a great run here this evening in that 29 machine, up into the 7th spot on the racetrack as he continues to work himself to the front. You see the 1-2-3 of Glenn Townsend. Not too long ago, we saw him up inside the top 4, looking very fast, and fortunately sliding backwards here a little bit for Townsend as he's back in about that 8th position on the racetrack. Then you see this Ricky Bobby throwback paint scheme here, the Me Ride, the 224 machine. That is Ricky Thompson out there on the racetrack. He's being hassled right now by a DWR car, the 10 right Alon Franks, currently in that 10th position, but looking to jump up into the 9th spot here, as he's also got Dustin Benton. Dakota Proud is contacting onto it. Ricky Thompson turned around there at the flag stand. Unfortunately, he's going to have to unleash that Cougar and get that car rolling here in a quick hurry, as our race leader is going to be right there on his back bumper and putting him a lap down any second now. Is a little bit farther back behind him, you see Tyler Jackson now up inside the top 20, but he does not have a lot of distance between himself and our race leader, as you'll see him come across the line here in just a few more seconds. Chris Peters right there behind him, half a straightaway back there, as there's Peters only, you know, inches, or, you know, a half a track away, not even half a track, half a straightaway away from putting our 3-time winner of this series down a lap here, as Tyler Jackson just looking to play some strategy, looking to try to keep these tires underneath of him for late in this race, and unfortunately slid deep in the field in a quick hurry, and then just been kind of cruising back here, but he could be at risk of going a lap down early on in this race, as this 23 rider Chris Peters continues to click down some very fast laps out there on the racetrack. Jacob Stefanski now up into position number 2, with Stefanski there in that 2nd spot, as the throwback paint scheme here to his first ever Monte Carlo street stock out there on the track, as a beautiful looking paint scheme, a beautiful looking ride once again this week for the 32 of Jacob Stefanski and the Throttle Down Motorsports WP Crave Designs Sunrise Racing number 32 ride. There in position number 2 as Johnny Ratley slides back now to the 3rd position. So our pole sitter and our early race leader sliding backwards here ever so slightly, but you can see Johnny Rowley still rolling that inside lane, just playing this game of trying to protect, trying to keep this car as straight as possible, trying to save those tires and not have any issues out there on the racetrack. As he continues to run some very good laps, still continuing to be very fast out there, keeping himself in that third position. You see Jackie Whaley back there in position number 4. William Hargraves there in that 5th position. Jeremy Aikens in position number 6 as they got the lap car of Troy Owenby in between them there in that Jegs number 9 ride. Aaron Martin there in 7th. Lon Franks up into 8th as Glenn Townsend back into 9th, and Dustin Benton, the big D machine, now up inside the top 10 here as Benton now into that 10th spot on the racetrack as his teammate, the Throttle Down Motorsports number 19 ride right there behind him in 11th. Ryan Howard, Steven Stefanski, Johnny Nolan, and Cody McCoy rounding out our top 15. Cameron Stefanski there in the 16th position with Ricky Thompson there in 17th. Evan Stefanski there in 18th. Tim Van Ovenstein there in position number 19, and Jason Zilmer rounding out our top 20 as T-Jack Tyler Jackson. He's got some company as here comes Chris Peters, our race leader, the purple number 23 ride to his outside as T-Jack unfortunately looking to go a lap down right there as it's that 23 ride going to make the move, going to put him a lap down. Now trying to go after Jason Zilmer right there as well, as he would love to put both these drivers a lap down, give himself a little bit of extra breathing room here as the driver that's won the last 2 of these races, Tyler Jackson, unfortunately not having the start of this race that he was hoping for, and also, maybe a little bit of strategy out of that 822 ride. We've ran this racetrack before. He's seen what happened, and he may know that a little something up his sleeve here, maybe in the memory book, or kind of keeping him at bay a little deeper in the field here, trying to serve and protect those fresh tires there on that 822 ride as Chris Peters putting him and Jason Zilmer now down a lap here as they head down the back straightaway into corner number 3. Nice and easy out of corner number 4 as Tim Taylor says anyway to get word to Peters his team is paying him $50 to win. I don't think there's a way I can unless if I pull him in through Discord, and I don't want to ruin him or sketch it. The love here in this one. How are you, Amy? Amy coming in, showing the love here as well, cheering on the Stefanskis out there on the racetrack. As man, we are getting some great racing action here, man. These guys are putting on a great show for us here, lap after lap after lap. They continue to put on a great race and a great show for us here. As I don't know if our stream just crashed or what might have just happened right there. That was very interesting. Let me take a quick look here and see as I don't know what the is going on with that one. Uh-oh. Come on, YouTube. Come on, YouTube. Get with it. Get with it. Get with it. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smoother streaming, such as viewers and experience buffering. Oh, God, no. No, 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 no. We don't want that. We don't want that. Come on now. Get with the program here, YouTube. Come on. Get with it. Get with it. I know things have been not working here tonight. Facebook still isn't working. Oh, I think we got Facebook to work there for a quick second. I think it did. I think it did. Let's see that awful drop in frames here on Facebook, too. So I don't know what that was, but that was an interesting one. For a hot minute there, yeah, for a hot minute, it seemed like things decided that it wanted to take a pooper, but looks like it's good now. So we're good now. We're good now. And we also got Facebook to open, so I'm assuming it's something with Facebook having some sort of an error right there, and looks like they kind of got things back to working conditions out there, so that's good to see. That is good to see. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't want to see buffering or anything else. I don't want to see anyone having any connection issues there, including myself, as out in front. Some great racing action here as that 23 ride continues to lead the way. Chris Peters out in front now with a commanding lead. It's a 420 lead here for that 23 machine of Chris Peters over the 32 of Jacob Stefanski is almost to 4.5 seconds between our race leader, our second place driver. See Johnny Ratley not too far behind. Jacob Stefanski there in position number 2. Jackie Whaley right there as well. And then William Hargraves a little bit farther back here as the 71H trying to hold on to position number 5. He's got Aaron Martin working down to his inside as Martin looking to have a great run here this evening. One of his best races so far in the series for the 29 ride. So good to see Martin having a great run here in the Aaron M29 machine out there on the racetrack as Lon Frank's trying to go to work on his back bumper here. Frank's trying to work himself closer to the front of the field. Jeremy Akins, Dustin Benton, and Dakota Proud rounding out our top 10, but it's all Chris Peters here in this one as Peters continuing to lead the way, has our top 15 or our top 14 left on the lead lap here as he goes to work on our 14th place driver Cody McCoy, trying to stay on the lead lap. Peters looking to try to put him a lap down as well, trying to keep all these drivers a little bit farther back there behind him, trying to give himself a little bit of extra breathing room out there on the racetrack as some great racing action here in this one as Craig Michael Deacon coming in with that like on the stream. Amy Marie Stefanski with that heart rate action as well. Rob Stefanski, William Hargraves, Andrew Hainsley, Steven Stefanski, Ricky Chandler all coming in with the love here in this one. Cody McCoy with the like and the share. Jake Stefanski with that heart reaction and the share as well. Anthony Karp with the like and the share on the broadcast as well, coming in showing the big love here in this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, and hit that follow and subscribe button. And some great racing action here all around the racetrack. These guys continue to put on one great show for us. Lap after lap after lap, continue to hit their marks, continuing to put on an absolutely amazing race. As we're going to take a quick side-by-side here, and we're going to quickly crank it up on PeaceMaker Gaming. Woo! Crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for all these drivers. drivers continue to put on an absolute amazing show here for us. Chris Peters continues to lead the way here. He's got a lot of traffic right in front of him as Aaron M29 trying to hold on to that 29 machine, trying to stay on the lead lap here as Chris Peters looking to try to put our 12th place driver down a lap right now. So Chris Peters continuing to click him off, continuing to put these drivers back behind him and down a lap out there on the racetrack, giving himself an extra little bit of a cushion out there on the track as he continues to try to click him off, continuing to try to put him back there behind him, and continue to just try to give himself that extra advantage as now you start to see some drivers possibly running into some tire issues here. We're getting into that area where this is a very, very long race. This is a bit of a this is a bit of a wild card one now as we start to get in closer and closer to that 100 laps and that 110, 120 laps as these tires really want to start letting loose here in just a little bit. We're going to see these tires continue to go through changes. This racetrack completely slicked off. It is a very, very treacherous racetrack out there. And we can see a lot of drivers having some issues with tire fall off and everything else out there on the track. But we see them continuing to run some very good lap times here. The laps have fallen off quite a bit, though, in comparison to when we had a fresh racetrack and fresh tires. And things definitely becoming tougher and tougher for these drivers. And they're trying to hang on to their rides, keep them going in the right direction as Ryan Howard, the next driver here in front of the 23 ride, as Chris Peters looking to try to put our 11th place driver down a lap and the 92 ride down a second lap. There is Cameron Stefanski trying to hold on to that 92 ride, currently back in the 19th position on the racetrack, and unfortunately he's going to slide 2 laps down now to our race leader. Chris Peters out in front, the McConey Setup Shop TNT Racing Sim Rep Market number 23 out in front, continuing to lead the way here, has a 7-second lead advantage between himself and Johnny Ratley as Ratley they're in position number 2 in the DWR iRacing iFlag JRE machine, holding on to that second spot on the racetrack. Jacob Stefanski in the Throttle Down Motorsports WB Crave Design Sunrise Racing number 32 machine there in the 3rd position as Jackie Whaley a little ways back there behind him in position number 4, in looking for more as Whaley back in position number 4 on the track. Lon Franks has found himself a way back up to the front of the field here as he finds himself up inside the top 5 now in that 10 machine as he's in that 5th position. Dustin Benton there in the 6th spot on the racetrack, currently right in front of William Hargraves as the Dirt Panda, Vivs the Liquor, Joyride Designs, Malum Electric Ride there in the 7th spot on the racetrack. Dakota Proud in the Throttle Down Motorsports and number 19 machine there in the 8th spot with the Steve's Lawn Care Muscles, the number 15, the Sunrise Racing Ride of Steven Stefanski there in 9th, and Ryan Howard rounding out our top 10 now as he's worked himself around the 57 machine of Jeremy Akins. Akins right there as well. These drivers both find themselves a lap down as only 9 drivers left on the lead lap as of right now as Chris Peters continuing to lay down some very, very good quick lap times and continuing to put these drivers that are struggling farther and farther back there behind them. As Jeremy Akins, Ryan Howard both now down a lap. Aaron Martin also down a lap as well. T-Jack, Tyler Jackson, who we saw start up on the front row, went straight to the back of the pack here in that 822 ride as the Black Diamond Mafia with Julius A Speed Shot machine trying to roll some different strategy here at Eldora. I'm not sure if it's going to work out for him or not. We'll have to wait and see how this one plays out, if he can keep these tires underneath of him here for the rest of the way, and if drivers in front of him have tire failures and they're going to come down pit side, it may be enough for him to leapfrog a lot of those drivers and work himself to the front of the field. As T-Jack back in the 13th spot, down a lap and a bit here from Chris Peters, and unfortunately, you know, he stayed in front of Johnny Ratley here, so he's not a full lap down of our second place driver, Johnny Ratley. Jacob Stefanski, Jackie Whaley all right there as well, so Tyler Jackson trying to play some different strategy here. So isn't this 33 ride of Dylan Simmons, still 1 lap down as well in the Throttle Down Motorsports number 33 ride as he's there in position number 14. Jason Zilmer rounding out our top 15 as Cody McCoy, Johnny Nolan, Ricky Thompson, Cameron Stefanski, Tim Ovenstein,
Van Ovenstein there in position number 20 with Troy Owenby, Evan Stefanski, Glenn Townsend, and Hayden Wooten rounding out our field here as Chris Peters out in front. His lead starting to shrink here a little bit. 6.5 seconds now the difference between himself and Johnny Ratley. You can see that 23 ride really starting to kick the rear end out here, really starting to struggle. Those tires really starting to fade away more and more and more lap after lap. These things are getting closer and closer to a tire failure out there on the racetrack, and at any moment something could happen here. Something bad could happen to any one of these drivers, and we still got a lot of racing left to go here. There's still 30 laps up on the board, so we're closing down to it, but there's still a lot of laps to be ran. It is still anybody's game out there on the racetrack, and things can happen in a quick hurry here at Eldora Speedway. You have a tire failure at this point. You're losing 3-4 seconds a lap. It may not be worth staying out there on the racetrack. You may have to come down pit side, where you may give up that lap, 2 laps to your competitors out there on the racetrack, in which case could put you back behind the ball in a quick hurry, and not a whole lot of laps left to try to get things done. As right now Chris Peters just continuing to hit his marks, continuing to keep that 23 ride out in front. He's still about 6.4 seconds ahead of Johnny Ratley back there in position number 2, as Ratley trying to hunt down Chris Peters for this race win. Jacob Stefanski right there in position number 3. Jackie Whaley there in 4th. Lon Franks up into position number 5 now, but looks like he may lose that 5th spot, as here comes the big D machine of Dustin Benton taking a look down to his inside. So they can get fresh tires? Yes, Tim, you can get fresh tires in the dirt street stocks if you have a tire blowout. You just can't come down and get fresh tires. You actually have to physically hit 0 on your right rear tires. That tire will actually explode. It will go flat on you. Then you can come down pit side and iRacing will change tires for you. But you have to have that tire failure. You can't just come down pit side in pit. We saw that in our opening race here at Eldora Speedway. Tyler Jackson had a very good lead, a very big lead here on the field. Came down pit side, trying to get fresh tires onto his car, but he didn't need them. He ran about 50, 60 laps before he could come in, get those fresh tires, and run the rest of the race with it. But unfortunately, he didn't have those fresh tires. He couldn't get those fresh tires, and unfortunately, he ended up sliding backwards and took him a long time to recoup and get that time back, and what could have been a win for the 822 ride kind of threw it out the window there, coming down pit side looking for those fresh tires when he didn't have that tire failure yet. CT Jack out there, the Black Diamond Mafia 822 ride now back inside the top 10 here, up into that 9th position, as some drivers back there behind them really starting to struggle here. The tires really starting to fade away. Drivers really kicking those rear ends out. The more and more they do that, the more they lose control of their rides, the more tire they're going to be burning up out there on the racetrack. This is really where you got to keep a pretty wheeling. Try to keep that car pointed in a perfect straight line and not really using up a lot of that right rear tire, as he may have that tire blowout in a quick hurry here, especially when it gets super low. You kind of spin her around or get her sideways out there on the racetrack and start spinning that right rear tire. That's when you can get into a dangerous game out there on the racetrack. It's Chris Peters continuing to lead the way, has his lead down to about 6 seconds here as he looks for a big run down through corner number 1 and 2. Johnny Ratley trying to hunt him down here in the DWR iRacing iFlag number 1 machine, as you do see Tim Van Ovenstein up into the outside fence right there. He's able to get that 94 ride pointed back in the right direction and keeps on trucking out there on the track, as Chris Peters out in front, showing him how to get it done. But you see T-Jack right there with them. Tyler Jackson has caught our race leader here, so maybe some fresh tires, or at least fresher tires, that saving that he did aggressively early in this race may be coming to help him out here a little bit, but it may be a little bit too late for Tyler Jackson, but he's looking to try to put himself back onto the lead lap as he looks to the inside here of Chris Peters, and he's going to get a good run there off corner 2 as Peters kicks that rear end a little sideways there, spins that right rear tire just ever so slightly, and doesn't get the drive off that he would hope to have here, as T-Jack going to make that move and put himself back onto the lead lap here. So Tyler Jackson, man on a mission, trying to work himself back up towards the front of the field, but he's got a lot of ground to make up and not a whole lot of time to get there, as only
17 more laps left to go, this time by the start-finish line for Chris Peters. T-Jack would need to virtually make up about a second and a bit every single lap over that 23 ride if he was to hunt him down here and be able to work himself to the front of the field. And he's got a lot of fast cars to still contend with to try to get back around as he's got Hargraves there in front of him in that 71H ride. Lon Franks, Dustin Benton, Jackie Whaley, Jacob Stefanski, and Johnny Ratley to contend with before he gets to our race leader of Chris Peters. Peters' lead slowly but surely starting to evaporate. Only 4.5 seconds now between our race leader and our second place driver, Johnny Ratley. Ratley gotta be taking a look at that relative, seeing that he's making up ground. He's slowly but surely catching up to our race leader. Just has to make sure he hits his marks perfectly. Has to make sure he keeps that car under himself here and just keeps on rocking and rolling. This is making me smoke. It's making you smoke, Timmy. It's some nerve-wracking times here. You never know. We're getting to the point now where if you have that tire blowout, it's not really going to be worth it to really come down pit side. You may just have to try to run it out there without coming down pit side, without getting those fresh tires. Because you come down pit side now, give up that lap or 2 laps out there on the racetrack, it could put you back there quite a ways. And you may not, even with those fresh tires, you may be able to gain a lot of ground and be very, very fast, but you may not be able to make up the time that you need to try to work yourself back to the front of the field. And the more laps that these drivers continue to click off, the closer and closer that could be an aspect to it here. You see the 23 ride really kicking that rear end out now as these tires have basically started to completely fall off now for these drivers, as Johnny Ratley still about 4.5 seconds back on Chris Peters here. Jacob Stefanski there in position number 3 is Lon Franks there in form. Dustin Benton in that 5th position, now in that 34 ride. See Jackie Whaley right there with them in the 71H. William Hargraves not too far behind there either. And then about 30 seconds back of Hargraves, you see Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, the 822 machine there in that 8th position. Dakota Brown now there in that 9th spot, trying to close in on our race leader, trying to put himself back onto the lead lap. Ryan Howard hanging out here, rounding out our top 10. Steven Stefanski, Dylan Simmons, Aaron Martin, Jason Zilmer, and Cody McCoy rounding out our top 15 here in that 13 ride. Is Ricky Thompson there in 16th, Cameron Stefanski in the 17th position, Johnny Nolan there in 18th with Troy Owenby. Tim Van Ovenstein is there you go. I just saw one driver come down pit side here. There you go, the 5J. Johnny Nolan, one of those first drivers to come down pit side. You will see this car get jacked up, and the crew is going to go to work here. And there's some fresh tires on this 5J ride, as definitely takes a long time down here on the dirt track to get these tires exchanged and get these cars back out onto the track, as the 5J down pit side not having the run he was hoping for here this evening, as Chris Peters continues to lead the way. 3.5 seconds in closing the distance here in a quick hurry. Johnny Ratley trying to catch up to our race leader here. The laps continue to click down as, and drink, where's the whiskey? Where's the whiskey, says Timmy. Timmy, my boy, the whiskey, you may have to get it out here, as Chris Peters trying to hang on to this 23 ride. Sees that lead now evaporate to about 2 seconds. Under 2 seconds now is Johnny Ratley trying to hunt him down in a quick hurry with only 7 laps left to go. 7 laps left here in this one. Johnny Ratley within a straightaway now of that 23 ride. Only 1.5 seconds back of our race leader, Chris Peters. Peters trying to hang on to it here. Johnny Ratley trying to hunt him down. 7.5 seconds back. You see Jacob Stefanski there in 3rd. Dustin Benton back there in position number 4. Lon Franks, Jackie Whaley, William Hargraves, and now you see T-Jack, Tyler Jackson closing in on the back bumper of the 71H ride, as Hargraves may be at risk, maybe sliding back another spot as T-Jack hunts him down, as we see the pass for the lead. Johnny Ratley now out in front. Chris Peters back to 2nd. We're going to play this one back here real quick and see what happened here as the 23 ride gives up that race lead. Looks like he almost lost it right here in corner number 1 and 2. There you go. Kicks the rear end out very sideways, trying to hang on to it. Opens up the bottom side. Johnny Ratley going to slide right underneath him and go right around him. So Johnny Ratley, our new race leader late in this race, he led about the first 30 laps, gave the race lead up to the 23 of Chris Peters, And here he is late in this one, jumping back into that top spot as Johnny Ratley leads the way. Chris Peters back there in position number 2 now. Jacob Stefanski there in third. You see Dustin Benton, Lon Franks, and now T-Jack Tyler Jackson up into position number 6 as T-Jack trying to hunt down a couple more drivers, trying to work himself back up inside the top 5 here. Our points leader, or one of our points leaders, trying to have himself a great day here at the racetrack as the one ride of Johnny Ratley down across the line here, going to click off another lap, but he's got a lot of drivers right here in front of him and all around him trying to stay out of trouble himself, just trying to keep this one car pointing in the right direction as he heads down the back straightaway into corner number 3. Nice and easy down and out of corner number 4. He is going to see that white flag fly. So one more time around here for Johnny Ratley. 124 laps in the books. Only one more lap left to go here in the Throttle Down Motorsports Enduro Series as Johnny Ratley out in front. Nice and easy down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4 for the final time here at Eldora Speedway. Johnny Ratley is going to pick up the checkered flag and park the one ride, the DWR JRE Evil One Graphics iRacing iFlag number 1 ride up in the Eldora Speedway victory lane as Johnny Ratley gets it done late in this race, making the move to jump up and make the pass around the TNT Racing Sim Wrap Market number 23 as the McConey Setup Shop ride going to come home in position number 2. Jacob Stefanski there in third with Dustin Benton in position number 4 and Lon Franks rounding out our top 5. D-Jack Tyler Jackson playing some different strategy, was making up a lot of ground late in that race, but ran out of time about 10 seconds back of our race leader as T-Jack fell to the rear of the field in a quick hurry, but man, oh man, nobody was stopping Johnny Ratley here this evening. It looked for a little while like the 23 of Chris Peters was going to get it done, but not today for Chris Peters. Another close one, another great run, another good drive for that 23 machine, but unfortunately coming up one spot shy of that one ride as he's going to pull it up into the Eldora victory lane here. What a run and what a drive for Johnny Ratley as he gets it done and parks this number 1 car up in victory lane. What a race, what a run, and what a drive right there for Johnny Ratley as he's going to go back out onto the racetrack here. The rest of the top 5. Definitely excited, definitely pretty happy about the outcome of the evening here, getting himself up into victory lane. Gonna get some photos taken, but he's gonna join the rest of the drivers here on the front straightaway for some post-race interviews. Damn, says Tim Taylor. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Just Viv says, smooth move. Johnny, congratulations. A great run right there for Mr. Ratley, and a great drive here by all of our top 5 as these guys put on some great racing action right from the drop of the green flag right down to the checkered flag, and we'll be waiting to get these drivers up into the broadcast booth here for their post-race interviews. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button right now. If you haven't already, make sure you do those 3 simple things for us. Helps push the stream out a ton, and make sure you jump up into the comment section and cheer these drivers on. Let them know that you enjoyed the racing action and everything else as we're going to get ready to pull our race winner into the broadcast booth. Johnny Ratley waiting patiently here. We're going to pull him in right now. Hey, Johnny, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Johnny, my boy, what a run, what a drive as you were able to make that move late in the race, get that lead back away from Chris Peters, and put yourself up in victory lane here after 125 laps of racing action, man. Take us back through that one, and how does it feel to be up here in victory lane?
Oh, man, it feels good. I haven't raced in a long time, so oh, man, it feels pretty good. I raced with Dustin in his little legend race a couple days ago, and I done pretty good in that. Man, this is my first time racing in a while, man. It was fun to get out there with the guys and run, but I didn't know, man. Chris Peters, he was checked out and left me with I was about 7 seconds behind with about 15 or so laps to go. I didn't think I was going to catch him.
Absolutely, but the big game here with the enduro style of a race is tires, 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 and unfortunately late in this race, that right rear starting to fade away more and more and more on that 23 right of Chris Peters. He's just trying to hang on to it, trying to keep it pointed in the right direction. Unfortunately, slowing him down quite a bit, opening up the door for you to hunt him down late in this one, make that move. About 6-7 laps left to go to get back around him, take that race lead back away from Chris Peters, and pick up the checkered flag here at Eldora Speedway after a hard-fought 125 laps. As this isn't only just a mentally focusing kind of a race where you really gotta be in your, in your zone, in the A game here all evening long, but it's pretty physical too, man. 125 laps behind the steering wheel, beating and banging and battle with all these drivers, trying to make sure they hit your marks lap after lap after lap. Isn't just mentally physical, it is also physically physical out there on you, as it's hard on the body, and definitely making guys work out there in this one.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I wasn't really looking at the laps. I was just trying to hit my, hit my marks and stuff. I really didn't know how this race was going to play out because I don't think I've ran a race yet. So I jumped in and thought, let me give it a try. And I was going to follow Jackson because he seems to be dominating out there. But I got the pole. I wanted to get out front and try to get out front and get away from some people at the beginning. And then I started backing off, and I let Peters by, and I fell back pretty far. I didn't realize, like I said, I was just hitting my marks out there on the track. And what about lap 80, I looked and he was about 7 seconds ahead of me. And I was like, how in the hell did he get that far ahead of me? I was like, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, there's no way I'm going to catch him. And then, I was just trying to hit the bottom, miss people, and then all of a sudden, with about 10 to go, I could see him in my distance, and I saw him pretty, sideways and stuff. And I was like, man, I'm gonna get him. So I had 18% tire left, so my tires were pretty good. I felt good. I had enough to do some more burnouts out there, so I was pretty good to go.
Absolutely, definitely good to go, and you make it work here as you put that one ride up in victory lane. Johnny, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here in this one after 125 laps of racing action and being able to hit that strategy perfectly here to park yourself up in victory lane? Who would you like to give some shout outs to?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna my team over there at Dirt Warrior Racing, Evil One Graphics, Junk Fabrication, Hammerheads Leather Shop, Mama Shula Promotions, J&D Landscaping, iRacing iFlag. Let me see, Team BCR Sim Products. What is that? 304 Roots. And I want to thank, Dustin for letting me jump in here whenever I need to. And I want to thank you, man, for the broadcast, man. I've been watching you here lately because I ain't been able to jump in, man. It's always awesome to watch you do your thing, man. You're the best in the business, brother.
I appreciate that, Johnny. I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate you coming out here and joining the fun and joining the action here this evening as you put a whooping on these guys and park yourself up in victory lane, and hopefully maybe draw you back in for more and more of these races, maybe give you that little bit of extra momentum, that little bit of an extra chip on your shoulder to want to come back and run more of these races and see if you can go for a run here late in the season.
Yes, sir. I'm trying my best. I've been getting on here the past week or two, trying to get some more laps in. I'm gonna try to get on here more regularly. Just my work schedule, man. My work schedule is killing me, and it's not allowing me to race as much as I want to. But I get home, I've been up for 24 hours now, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna get on and race with my guys, man, because I don't get on here very often, get to spend time with them, man, and it's always fun to get on here and do this. And I want to thank everybody out there, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, Johnny. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the great drive. And we look forward to seeing you back out here on the racetrack in the next one. And hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth.
10-4. Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Johnny Ratley. Is Johnny coming home, picking up the checkered flag here in this one. What a run and what a drive right there for that number one machine as we get ready to pull in our second place finisher. Chris Peters waiting patiently here. We're going to pull Chris in for his post-race interview. Hey, Chris, it's Darren up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
I got a copy, buddy.
Chris, my boy, a great run and a great drive here for you in this one. About 7 laps shy of picking up the checkered flag here this evening. What was going on out there on the racetrack late in this race as we saw you out to a pretty good lead over 7 seconds at one point in time over Johnny Ratley and the rest of your fellow competitors. But late in this race, looks like you just had your hands full trying to keep that car underneath of you. And, right there, 6-7 laps left to go. Johnny Ratley able to get that run to the inside as you're sideways there on the racetrack trying to get yourself recollected down the bottom side of quarter 1 and 2, and he was able to make that move and jump up and take this win away from you.
Yeah, the first race here, I blew my tire on lap. It had to be 103, and I stayed out for 2 laps, and I came back and pitted, and I only finished 3 seconds behind the leader. So I thought, well, if I can pit right away and blow this tire out, we'll be fine. I guess with the update, they're not wearing as quick. And I was like, once we hit lap 115, I was like, oh no, it was horrible to drive on. It was like the right rear felt like it was dropping, and there was no traction on the right rear. So it was like being on a skating rink, but had to go for it. I'm not making next week's race, so I'm only making USA after this. So I was like, I gotta say screw it, give her hell, and hope for the best.
Absolutely, definitely didn't leave anything out there to question on the racetrack as he ran it lap after lap, just clicking off these laps, trying to get it done as quickly as possible. And unfortunately, just there late in the race, the car just went away on you. And it's definitely, as you said, that the new update that they did there a couple weeks ago, definitely throwing a skew into any of your guys' game plans on what to do out there on the racetrack. We saw last week at Lincoln where drivers were trying to save and save and save, and all of a sudden by the end of the race, they were sitting there with half the tires still left and being able to still run another 7,500 laps on those tires, where before we would see these tires almost down to zero and having tire blowouts and everything else. And as we said, the first race of the season here at Eldora, we saw a numerous amount of tire blowouts and drivers having those issues, and that was happening lap 90, lap 100 out there on the racetrack. Here tonight with the new tire setup and everything else here from iRacing, you didn't have any tire blowouts out there on the racetrack. Everyone was able to keep on rolling and not have any of those issues here in this race. So definitely throwing a loop into the game plans and into the book here for everyone's notebook for what to do and what not to do here in these longer races.
I think they'll be okay at I-55 since it's smaller. I was trying to run that slider line and skate up the track and burn it off, and even making sure to get in the gas a little harder. And towards the end of the race, I thought for sure I was chucking it in front of the whole field. I thought we're going to lose the lead by spitting out in front of everybody. So I'm glad that didn't happen, and that was a fun one. It was definitely better than the first race here as far as wear went, that's for sure.
Absolutely. You're still able to hold on and put yourself up here in position number 2. Another good run, another good performance here for you as you parked that 23 right up here on the front straightaway. Chris, who would you like to thank for another good run and another strong performance here this evening?
Maconi Setup Shop, Sim Rat Market, and TNT Racing, you for the broadcast. And I'd like to go down to that right rear tire right now and yell at it and then kiss it because it didn't pop.
Need a pocket full of nails or something there on the racetrack.
Yeah, I'd be the guy that if this was a race where you need it to pop, I'd have something like up in that wheel well that'll just fall out on the tire and pop it so I can get in quicker.
Exactly. Well, Chris, a great run and a great drive, man. We look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack in the next one. Obviously, you say you can't make it next week, but we look forward to seeing you back
LA
out
Kings
there.
hockey, buddy.
LA
next
Kings
week,
hockey.
Kings versus Jets.
Yeah,
so,
you're huge with the Jets and the Kings. So what is it? You're a Jets fan and a Kings fan, or are you just a Jets
Kings fan? Kings fan. I grew up. I'm sure you remember Stanley Cup on Super Nintendo. The game I used to play Gretzky versus Solani. So Kings versus Jets, and I always wanted to be Gretzky on there. So we lost the NHL. I was 8 years old. So grew up without a local team. So followed the Kings, and I was like, I can't leave my first love, man, especially after the Cup in 2012.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, I feel good for you in that one because, I mean, you guys did have Jeff Carter and Mike Richards, and definitely a good team over there. And, hopefully my Flyers can make the playoffs again this year. You guys are looking all right this season. Not the best over there for the LA Kings, but the Jets are definitely looking pretty good. Not as good
I
the last couple weeks, but I'm sure they'll right the ship here late in the season.
I definitely think they've got a very deep team. You look at they got Toffoli, who's the right-handed shot, Scheifele right-handed, Velarde right-handed, lots of firepower that you can put on the wing or center or whatnot. And they definitely got what it takes to go deep. I think the LA Kings, they might be my team, but man, PLD, unless he turns it up a notch, we're going golfing early.
I feel you, man. I gotta figure out some sort of a way to find Teemu Solani and get him to sign that Winnipeg Jets jersey, a rookie year jersey of his. That'd be pretty awesome, and then get it hung up onto a nice frame and everything else, and put it somewhere into a man cave.
That would be sexy. We've turned this racing broadcast into a sports podcast now.
Exactly. Hey, it's always good. It's always good to chit chat with you, brother. But man, a great run and a great drive, Chris. Congratulations on the second place finish, and we look forward to seeing you back out there when it comes down to our season finale at USA.
That'll be a fun one. Tires are getting blown for sure.
We look forward to it, Chris. Congrats on the great run, and we'll see you out there in the next one.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our second place finisher, Mr. Chris Peters, as Chris comes home in position number 2. A great run and a great drive there with that number 23 machine. As we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher, Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski waiting patiently here in that 32 ride. We're going to pull him in for his post-race interview. Hey, Jacob, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. Take a copy.
Yes, sir.
Jake, my boy, a great run and a great drive as you're able to work that 32 ride up to the front of the field here for a little bit, battling there with Johnny Nolan and Chris Peters, and having some good fun there late in the race between yourself and your teammate Dustin Benton. But you're able to come home across the line in position number 3 here for another very solid run and solid performance on the day.
Yeah, it was a good run. I think I pushed a little too hard towards the middle of the race there, and I only had like 2 or 3% tire left at the end of that race, so I was definitely struggling. And Dustin tracked me down there towards the end. I didn't mean to get into him. I think I'm gonna have some more apologizing to do for getting into him there, but that's just racing with these enduros. You know, you door a little bit here and there, and just part of the game. But it was a good run. I'm real happy with the top 3 tonight.
Absolutely. A very strong run, a very strong performance for you as you parked that 32 ride up on the front straightaway. Who would you like to thank here for another strong run and strong performance tonight?
Well, first off, I got to thank you for doing the broadcast, man. You always do a great job, and we appreciate you very, very much. Got to thank all the guys over at Throttle Down Motorsports for just always challenging each other, trying to do our best to get faster, and just helping each other get there. Sunrise Racing, Steve's Lawn Care, Forever Tan and Boutique, PJ Auto, Car and Trailer Sales, Meridian Rug, Bud's Apple Pie, DK Motorsports, WB Creative Designs, Wade, always keeping our designs fresh. And this is one of my personal favorites, modeled after my 2011 Monte Carlo that I ran when I was in high school. So big shout out to Wade, always keeping the cars fresh. My girlfriend for always supporting me doing this week in and week out, and just all the guys that we get to run by, weekly here. Some of the best in the business. You got guys like Johnny and Jackie and Dustin and Chris and Lon, and really just a stacked field. And T-Jack even, there's so many good guys that are capable of winning week in and week out, and it's just a lot of fun to be able to have that respect for each other and go out there and have a good time.
Absolutely, and that's the big thing. Going out there, having some fun, having a good time out there on the racetrack, and continuing to just have some good runs and some good laughs, and enjoy a Monday evening where usually people are sitting around hating Mondays because it's back to the grind, back to the work week. But at least Mondays for everyone here on PeaceMaker Gaming, and in this series, gotta enjoy the Mondays a little bit more, and maybe a little bit more of a smile on your face knowing that it's Monday and it's race day, and that you guys gonna be able to jump out there and go to work and go to battle.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got to thank everybody that does get to come out. That's like you said, it's the beginning of the work week. A lot of guys get busy and you're back to the grind. But it's always nice to see a lot of the same faces show up week in and week out and just put on a good show for the fans.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Jay, congratulations on the third place run, and we look forward to seeing you out here in the next one. Hopefully, right back up here in the broadcast booth.
Absolutely. Thanks, Aaron.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Jacob Stefanski. Is Jacob coming home there in position number 3? Trek says, great race. It was a great race right there. Aaron M29, my boy Aaron coming in, showing the love as well, says, I got too horny battling for 5th and spun myself. Hey, you know what, brother? It happens. And yeah, we saw you out there. You were running very, very strong, doing a great job out there on the racetrack. You continue to just run some great laps. Some great laps out there and continue to be quick out there on the racetrack, and it was a lot of fun to watch you out there working yourself to the front of the field there and having a good run for a little bit out there on the track. But we're going to get ready. We're going to pull in our fourth place finisher, Big D, Dustin Benton, coming home here in position number 4. We're going to pull Dustin in for his post-race interview. Hey, Dustin, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Dustin, my boy, a good run, a good drive here for you as you're able to work yourself up into position number 4 on the racetrack. A good little battle late in the race between yourself and teammate Jacob Stefanski as you guys duked it out there for that third position. You unfortunately can't quite get the job done there with them, and settled in there for a 4th place run here in this one, man. Take us back through this race and take us back through the action, trying to work yourself up through the field. A lot of very, very fast drivers, a lot of fast cars you had to pass here as you were able to pick up 8 positions on the racetrack and work yourself up here into a top 5 finish.
I just trying to be patient, buddy. That's it. I mean, a lot of these guys are just too impatient and they want to go, and they don't save nothing. And it's the same old guys every week spinning out and losing control. And if they'd just back off that loud pedal a little bit, they'd be better off.
Absolutely, a very long race like this, you gotta be very patient and pick your battles, pick your moments when you want to use those tires up or trying to work yourself closer to the front of the field. And we see it all evening long. We saw T-Jack, late in this race making a lot of passes, working himself back towards the front of the field. Definitely not the run that I think he was hoping for here, obviously sliding far ways back there, at the beginning of this race, as you guys kind of just held strong, kind of just running your laps, just waiting for other drivers in front of you to make those mistakes and starting to fall off there. As it, we saw you and Lon Franks and even Hargraves right there, kind of all just running, right together, not really pushing the subject, really not running super hard out there right from the get-go, just kind of rolling out there nice and easy for that first, 70, 80 laps. Then everyone starts to have issues around you where you guys are really able to start picking them off and work yourself closer and closer to the front. Unfortunately, just not enough here in this one. Maybe the new tire wear model from iRacing in the last update making it that much more difficult for you guys to be able to try to save a little bit more, or maybe having to go a little sooner and not save as much as what you did before, as the tires seem to be holding up a lot longer than what they did before that update.
Yeah, the last update was definitely something different, and I've got used to holding and saving, and you definitely can't save as much. I saved, but didn't save like you normally would. Like last time we raced here, I ran the whole race around the bottom, and there was no way to do that tonight because he would have been in the back.
Absolutely, definitely had to move around, definitely have to search and find some different ways to stay fast out there on the racetrack and still being able to save those tires as well. But Dustin, a great run and a great drive as you parked that 34 ride up here in position number 4. Another very strong run, another strong performance here for you. Who would you like to thank for another great day at the racetrack?
Hell, I'm just tired of being sick, to be honest, Aaron. I'm sick again, so it's just, I don't know. I'm so frustrated about being sick all the time, but gotta thank you first and foremost for everything you do for us, the league, and been with us since we got back going, and we appreciate you and hope you stay with us until we're dead, I guess. I don't know. But gotta thank my Throwdown Motorsports teammates, Precision Auto Body, WB Creators Designs for always keeping us looking good. And that's about it.
Beautiful, Dustin. Another great run, another great race, a solid top 5 finish here for you once again in that battle for the championship with only a couple of races left to go. We're excited to see how it all plays out here at USA International Speedway in a couple weeks and see who ends up on top and who picks up the championship here in the Throwdown Motorsports Enduro Series. But Dustin, another great run, another strong performance for you tonight, brother. We look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack at Federated Auto Parts Raceway I-55.
Yeah, at least next week. The season finale, I think everybody will have to pit, so should make stuff a little more interesting.
I would definitely assume so, with USA being such a bigger racetrack and pretty slick and wide corners there. I could definitely see tires being an issue there. I-55, I think you guys could probably be almost hammered down, honestly, for the whole 125 laps. Heck, you could probably make that race 150 laps if you get enough fuel into these things.
Yeah.
Well, Dustin, a great run, great drive. Congratulations on the 4th place run, and we'll see you out here next Monday.
See you, buddy.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 4th place finisher, Dustin Benton. Is Dustin coming home there in position number 4? As we're going to get ready, we're going to pull in our 5th place finisher, the 10 rider, Lon Franks. Is Lon coming home here in position number 10 on the, or number 5 on the racetrack here. Let me see what's going on here. I don't know. Looks like this has ended, so we will close that out. We'll save that just for that. Let me see if we can get over to our intermission screen over here real quickly. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. We're going to get in here. We're going to jump in with our 5th place finisher now, our 5th place driver, Lon Franks. We're going to pull Franks up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Lon, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Llama boy, another good run, another solid performance here out of that 10 machine here this evening, man. Take us through this one. You know, what's going through your mind here, you know, late in this race and being done it, parked up here inside the top 5, having a lot of very tough drivers back there behind you, but obviously a few spots shy of where you'd like to be.
Yeah, the start kind of got me a little bit there. Everybody went, and Tyler didn't seem to go. I got into the back of him, picked his tires up, and then I was just stuck there. And everybody kind of took off, so I lost a little there, but it was good. I was kind of saving, kind of not, you know. I had a good car, but yeah, just kept it consistent. Top 5, we'll take it.
Absolutely. A very solid run, a very solid performance here. Top 10 drive on a tough race here. You know, tires didn't really become a factor in this one like we saw early in the season, but, you know, it was still very interesting to see drivers, you know, struggling late in the race, having the tires start to really fall off there and really starting to show signs of the tires getting down to those low percentages here at, you know, Eldora compared to what we even saw last week at Lincoln, and making it that much more difficult, that much more tougher for you guys late in this race. We were able to hang on and keep yourself up inside the top 5 here. Unfortunately, had, you know, Dustin Benton get around you there late in this race, trying to hold on to that 4th place finish, but you settle in and keep yourself there in position number 5 with Tyler Jackson, William Hargraves, Jackie Whaley, all back there behind you trying to hunt you down.
Yeah, just keep pace. Yeah, I almost hit Dustin at the end there. I don't know if he blew a right rear in the backstretch on the last lap, but I gained up a lot of ground. Almost got him, but I'll take it. It's fun. I like these long runs. It's cool seeing everybody's paces and how they work out. But it did seem to I don't know. It stayed pretty fast. I'd say till like lap 75, 80 it seemed, and then you started seeing different people falling off.
Absolutely. Definitely a very fast pace race out there as drivers were able to keep those tires underneath them. Just keep laying down good fast laps, lap after lap after lap, and made things very interesting late in this race for us. But Lon, a great run, a great drive. You parked that 10 ride up here in position number 5. Who would you like to thank for another strong run and strong performance here this evening?
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank BladeNode.com, iRacing iFlag, Mart Sports, BCR Sim Products, 304 Roots, Dandy Trucking, Junk Fabrication, JRE, my whole team, all the guys at DWR, just a great group of guys, fans, followers, the family for letting me do this, you guys for broadcasting it, Dustin for putting it on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Long congratulations on the 5th place run. We look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack in the next one, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth, maybe a few spots better and up there at the front of the field.
Yes, sir. Anytime I get to talk in the booth, it's been a good night, I figure. We'll
Absolutely.
holler at you.
Absolutely, brother. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your night.
You too, sir.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 5th place finisher, Lon Franks. As Franks comes home there in position number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for each and every one of these drivers as they put on an absolutely amazing show here for us, right from the drop of the green flag right down to our final checkered flag here on the evening. What a run, what a race, what a show here by each and every one of these drivers, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you guys back out here in the next one. But we're going to call it there on that note. We got another broadcast going to get fired up here in probably about 15-20 minutes from now. We'll be back live again with the second race of the Hometown Hero Series, where we're jumping back in to the super late models at Eldora Speedway Park. Going to be another great race, another great show, and another packed house there for that series. So make sure you guys tune in to the next one. Make sure you guys hit the like button, the share, the follow, and subscribe button. And make sure right beside it, you click those bell notifications. Make sure those notifications are turned on. That way you guys never miss it when we go live here on PeaceMaker Gaming, as we'll be back live here in just a little bit. And I'll see you guys all back here for more racing action in just a few more moments. But peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.